Hi, I'm Saket Bansal. I'm into project, program, and portfolio management education. But this video is not about education. It's about a small case study which I want to share with you, where we use the power of AI to automate our customer support chat. This is something which we have been using for last 6 months. I thought, why don't I share? Because many of you are looking for the real life use cases of AI. It's a small project which might get implemented in a first iteration in a week, but you need to tweak it for multiple times in order to make optimal use of this particular chat assistant. Now, what was the business problem? Because we have to start with the business problem. When I am using AI, I just don't want to use AI because it is available. So for us, it was getting difficult to support our customer 24/7 with the help of chat. Yes, we have a lot of information put on our website in the format of FAQs, but visitors wants to know details about specific areas which might be already there in FAQ, but they want to have an interactive conversation. And that is where we have a customer interaction or a natural language processing need. And what we used to do, we used to have our human agent logging into the chat in a multiple slots and answering those queries which were coming to us. Now, over a period of time, this was becoming more difficult to handle, and we used to have a blackout time for around 8-9 hours in the night. But many of the customers who are coming from US or Australia might be not getting their chat answered. So I thought, why don't I start using AI for that? I tried using AI around 7 years ago also. There was a code which was, there was a tool which was promising that we can use AI for chatbot support. But that time it was a failure because we could not make effective use of putting all the possible configuration. But after many years and the increase in the computation power and the ability of various intelligent product, I thought this time it might be different. And we started discovering and finding which tool can help us. Now, there are many chatbots, AI chatbots, which you can purchase. But the problem was that we want to keep human in loop. We don't want to give 100% control to the chatbot only. So we want to have something where we can keep seeing what is happening. We want to have something where we can take control in between. We can decide when to put a chat off, on, and there were many triggers which we wanted to do after chat get completed. And we were already using Tawk, T-A-W-K, Tawk.to. So we thought, I tried to explore, can I use their product only so that it comes in our existing infrastructure so that it will be less change for our people? And we implemented that. So let me show you briefly how this whole thing looks. I'm not teaching you how to configure Tawk. That is something you can learn yourself. They have a nice set of videos which you can try, and you can see that they have a full YouTube playlist where they are promoting their whole product. Yeah. So in case you are already using it or exploring it, you can probably visit, you can just put a search in a YouTube asking Tawk.to AI assist, and you probably will get it. Yeah. And this is the 90+ videos where you see step-by-step process. So this is something which is easily available. What probably not easily available is how we end up using it, yeah, or what is the business benefit of it. So here I am showing how we configured this AI agent. We give it a name. So a little bit technical details so that you start connecting to the whole process. So when you set up the agent, you need to provide appropriate settings. Now, setting is something which is generic. Yeah, you can talk about what all you want to do, and you give a name, you give a short description. Yeah, that is about your product and services. Then there is a very critical piece which you need to set up called base prompt. So if you are thinking of putting AI-enabled chatbot in your website, you need to carefully design your base prompt. You can consider base prompt as a default prompt. Whenever a user prompt is coming, you can say base prompt plus the existing conversation which already with the chat agent in mind, and your documents and the database, the sources you have given. Using these three information, your agent is going to reply. Yeah. So you can, in a simple word, think, base prompt get attached to the user prompt. So you always want to set the behavior and rule for your AI agent by way of providing the base prompt. So here we used almost as many characters we could. we just left with a few characters only, only 5 characters remaining. So we are using at the maximum capacity. We are setting, what should your name, when should you ask for email IDs, when should you tell that please contact our customer support. So all those things we need to write. And this, for us, getting updated every few weeks. It's been 6 months, and this is something which we need to iterate multiple times after observing how the chat is performing. Now, once that is done, this is something that's the important thing. Then you need to talk about, when you trigger the chat, how much time you need to wait. Now, we are giving a wait for 10 seconds because whenever possible, we also have a human agent logged in. And if we just give a small short, say 1 second response, then they won't even come to know that some chat is coming. So when the chat comes, human agent also get information, and that our AI assist waits for 10 seconds before start answering. That's something we have given. Now here you also have a facility where you can test. You can say, like when is next PMP session happening. So whenever we do some setting, we can do some amount of testing here. Now it is waiting for 10 seconds because of the prompt thing, and then you will get the reply appropriately. So this is something you see, and you can also check, this is something which is happening. If I want to modify something, then I can also change it. Now, this is something for testing purpose. In real life, they get it their own chat-based trigger. So that's a small info about the settings. The second part of this setting is our data source. So see, I can have a FAQs. I can give a data source as a website URL also. Initially, when we implemented it, we just added all our website pages and say, chatbot will answer based on whatever is written on the website, because mostly the information is coming from there. But then we started observing a lot of errors in it. So say in a PMP page, I may talk about what happens if you miss the class. There is a question and I have answered. In a CSM page also, there is a question which is explaining what might happen, or maybe there is no question explaining what happens if I miss the class. Now, when the website is a source, the person may be talking about CSM and may ask a question, what happens if I miss the chat? Now this agent may pick up the answer from PMP page and answers it. Because the agent may just not be able to differentiate these two informations. So there were a lot of, because we need to think, ultimately it's a computer, like agent has to do a processing. And if you have multiple programs and your questions are not talking about that differentiation, yes, there could be a differentiation based on the URL, but content is not. So the agent do more mistakes. So we end up moving away from website, and then we started adding basically the FAQs. FAQs, something which we systematically prepare the content for the agent itself. Usually in the FAQ, we end up adding each and every question with a program name. So when I go to a website, I may just talk about what I do if I miss the class, or I may have a question saying, probably who is the trainer, or what is the pass percentage. I may just ask, give information like this. But when I'm giving a FAQ, then I need to say, what is the pass percentage of PMP? What is the pass percentage of leading safe? What is the pass percentage of this? So I keep that tag all the time, because I want to make sure that it should be easier for AI to connect to the conversation and pick up the right information rather than get confused between two programs. So that is something we want to make sure we are doing it here. And then that is the skill. That is something we need to apply when we are setting up the chatbot. This content is the main thing. The content and behavior, these are the only two things. After that, continuous monitoring. So we created a lot of FAQs, specifically on a periodic basis. You can give a text-based inputs also, but FAQs we found is more structured. That's something we did. Then we also have documents. Documents are basically, especially for our schedule. So we can add Google Drive directly. So when we have a classroom schedules, pretty dynamic in nature, it may look very obvious to a human, but dates keeps changing. There is a different start time, different close time, different programs, many rows. So we add those information into the documents in the format of Google Sheet and keep updating them so that this chatbot can keep reading and providing information to you. These are the two basically we are using. Shortcuts, knowledge base we use for human interaction, but not for much for our AI assist. by doing it all, and we keep an eye on how the chatbot is performing. We keep fixing their problem, and that is how we are getting benefits out of it. Now, when it comes to costing, the overall idea of AI assist, you can say that you end up seeing this information. So it is not that much expensive in our understanding. So for example, you can probably end up paying $40 per month, yeah, if you are taking a monthly expense. If you take a yearly package, then you end up paying around less than $30. So they give you a credit, yeah. So we have taken a growth plan, 1,000 credit, and then these credit get resetted every month, yeah. So we still have left credit. So this month we are not going to consume all the credit. They don't give a carry forward of these credit. These are the base credit which get expired at the end of a month. But if you are paying monthly, $39 is the only price you have to pay. The good thing with Tawk is that you can start free. Yeah, you can start free. You can start even AI version also free. And then by adding few things and exploring it for a while, you can decide you want to go to a growth plan, which is, again, you can experiment it with a $40 a month, maybe 1 or 2 months. You can explore and understand if it is making sense to you or not. So continuous review is definitely a point which we need to focus on, and continuous improvement of a behavior and the content. For example, there used to be many confusions. PMP, PFMP, PGMP, only one character difference. If we don't explicitly clarify those things, the initial chatbot responses used to mix mode, So PMP question may get answered using PGMP answer, or PGMP question may get answered using PMP answer, because there was just a one character difference. So we educated and updated our FAQs to make it more explicit and more easier for the chatbot to understand. Now, ultimately, from the perspective of project manager and thinking for an AI project, what this chatbot is doing, it is doing natural language processing. It's basically searching information from our content only. But the uniqueness is the question may come in a multiple sequence. If I just give a search facility on a website, then the search facility may not be able to process those mixed mode sequence, the short forms and full forms. So that's the one advantage. The second is it also remains sensitive to the context. So when the person has started the conversation around PMP program, and the person might be asking next question, what is the fee? Yeah. So now the chatbot already understand that this is a PMP context. I need to tell the fee of a PMP. Yeah. So if I'm doing FAQ search, it may not be possible. I need to ask again what is the cost of or a fee of a PMP program. So that's how we differentiate, and that's the intelligence it brings in. But still, we need to answer. We need to provide good amount of answers. That's the behavior. But these two things will help us in resolving many of our chat-related problems. There could be mistakes which we need to fix. Yeah, we need to keep a human in loop. Yeah, we keep reading each and every chat which is done by our AI assist. We usually provide always a phone number, email ID where one can connect if the AI assist is not providing the appropriate answer. Now, if you want to use it, you can follow Tawk content, or you can explore some other chatbot also. Most of the chatbot will have a similar kind of setting and facilities. This is something which we are using. That's why I shared it. And if you want assistance, yeah, we do have a group who can assist you in setting up your AI chatbot. You can connect with us. Or if you want to just learn, then also you can ask some queries if you have any follow-up from me based on the case study. Particular setting related query, better you go to the particular tool expert. The AI assist, you can see it at Tawk.io. But use case or case study related queries, definitely you can post in this particular video. So that was a small project, and it has helped us significantly. We are spending $40, but our response time has, we are responding to 24/7. Missed chat has reduced. The number of leads generated out of chat has increased. The right questions or rightly answered ratio has increased. More than 90% of the time our chatbot does the good job. And for remaining 10%, we keep updating and remain vigilant about how should we fix the remaining 10% as well.